Order 64. Find and install missing parts. Ooh, it sounds different. Last night, someone's broke into my car. They stole something from the engine compartment and I can't start it. Can you fix it? Was that a prank? Why would somebody break into your car, pop the hood up, and then randomly steal a part? That is such a weird thing to do. What are they doing? Wow, is it me or does this look really rusty and dirty and horrible? Okay, so he's got his leads. Let's have a look down here. Both belts are here. Alternator, timing belts, belt tensioner. All looking good. Well, this is an interesting one. Battery. It took the battery. What? Really? Is this it? Is this the mission? Was that meant to be difficult? What the hell? It's like all you gotta do is flick to assembly mode and it'll highlight it. Eh? Did they think that one through? Order 65. Check the entire undercarriage. What? This is not... Is this an aircraft? Is this a car? Oh, it's a nice car. Very nice colour. That's more like my kind of style. Check the undercarriage. What was the story behind this? I went off-road and broke my suspension. I hope there are no damaged parts. Well, clearly there are. Clearly there are, dude. Check your undercarriage. Alright. I can't be bothered to stick this on the... Oh, I probably should, shouldn't I? I was going to say I can't be bothered to stick it on the path test, but I know I'm going to regret it. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is check his exhaust system, because I'm thinking he's whacked something with that. And that never shows up on a path test anyway, so it's a good investment. Okay, so it's clearly not that. What else should we check? No, I'm sod it. I'm just thinking suspension test is definitely the quickest way to find out. But when he said, he's worrying me, when he said check the entire undercarriage. Like, I'm alright doing this. But I feel like there's more to it. This is going to show up all of his suspension problems. He's more likely to have hit something. I thought personally that he'd have like a damaged wheel, or he'd banged his exhaust on something, or cracked his suspension arm, or, you know, bust his spring. It's going to be all that kind of stuff, isn't it? But would he be sneaky and break his fuel filter or his fuel pump? Right, let's see what that has shown us. Oh, that's straight away we see a problem. We see a problem. Let's pop that up. Take his exhaust off to get that spring, I think. Pretty certain we do. Let's get that first. Get the shock absorber rear down, and then we're going to have to drop this exhaust out to get at the suspension arm. Which is fine, it's just the springy appears to have broken. Now, can we see the bush is fine? I can't resist it, guys. I've got to look. 95%. It's fine. You can't possibly have broken this. Right, that's fine. It's okay. You'll have to forgive me that one. It's my own curiosity. Because sometimes the game doesn't make sense. It kind of breaks things that shouldn't be broken, you know? We've definitely had missions like that. Okay, so we're just looking at buying a suspension spring rear and a shock absorber rear. Is that all he's actually done to his car? That's disappointing. I was hoping for a bit more. Shock absorber... Where are you? Shock absorber rear. Suspension spring rear. Let's get rid of the broken bits. Let's go and put that back on. And hopefully that's the job. Oops, I was already in assembly mode apparently. Let's pop that back on. Bolt that into place. The camera around here might be better. Bolt that into place. Stick the muffler back on. And I think that's all the parts. So did that do it? No, it didn't. I just had this feeling it was going to do this. I had a feeling it was going to do this. So the next question is, what else needs checking? What about the axle? The drive axle here. Don't think we can actually check that from here. The differential and the axle, I'm thinking. What about something down the front, possibly? Would he have broken something down here? What about the state of the... Check the rubber bush. Rubber bush is fine. It's not that. I'm surprised a wheel hasn't come up, you know? I'm surprised it's not been a wheel. Have I got anything left? I might take this out for a quick test drive actually to try and figure this one out. I want the wheels to be highlighted. I'm thinking it's either the axle, the drive axle and differential, or a wheel, which is going to be broken. So I think I'm going to take it out on the track. Let's see if we can't figure this out. The Spectre. The Black Spectre. Whoa! Slidey-roo! Oh god. What the? I wonder if he needs some new tyres. Never done a brake test like that before. Do you know what? I've never been around the track backwards either. Oh god. That's probably not the best plan, is it? But I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see if we can do the slalom reverse. Oh good grief, that thing turns too quick. No, I need to be able to see where I'm going. Can you go through this forward? Of course you can. I think it's here, and then... Oh my god, that thing turns. It's like, when you're doing it this way, it's a bit like driving a forklift truck. Round the bend. Oh, there was another one! Right, let's go forward now. It's not a bad little mover, this thing. Okay. The important question is, did it show anything up? And the answer is, yes it did, and my hunch was correct. My hunch was correct, it is a drive. It's one of the axles. But not the diff, funnily enough. I can see something red on that other side. Why does it keep toggling that? I definitely saw something red over here. Can we fix the axle? No. We have to buy an axle. Drive axle right, and I can't see any more red on there, so I'm hoping that's all it needs. Drive axle right. Looks really nice with green tyres on. Not. Let's get that. Oh crap! Just put the wrong one on. Ooh, that was interesting. Did they just stop me from putting that back on, or just because I didn't actually bolt it in? I have to say, the rebolting doesn't feel vastly improved. Okay, that's it. Well, it was just a drive axle right in the end. But that's the job done. Sell the parts, sign off on the job, $1,100. Thank you very much. Order 66. Find and eliminate the cause. I was late for my flight, so I drove much too fast. I assume this is the reason for noticeable noises coming from the exhaust right now. 4,000. That's a catalytic converter right there. That kind of money. It's a V6, isn't it? I think. So let's start off by just inspecting exhaust system. Ooh, this is gonna cost, I reckon. I thought the cat would have been broken. Now, you see, that's got me worried now. Because now I'm thinking, for that kind of money, I think we're in exhaust manifold territory. Do you know what I mean? Ay. We've got to take the whole thing off, I reckon. It's not just going to be this. The mistake here would be to take this off. Reassemble it, find out you've not done your job properly, and then have to take it all back off again, just so that you can get the manifold off. So I think I'm just going to go straight for the jugular on this one. I'm going to take this off, then I'm going to take the manifold off, and if the manifold's not broken, I'm going to cry. Quietly. So quietly that you won't be able to hear me cry. Is there anything else that we can check while we're here? Just because I don't trust the game. He's driving too quickly. Okay. I think we have to pop it back down in order to get to the manifold, if I remember. We had the manifold off not that many episodes ago. Actually, can we examine it? Yes, we did. I was right, look at that! I was absolutely correct. Luckily enough, apparently, we can just reach around the back of the entire engine and just unbolt things. Oh, the speed of that unbolting really comes in handy now, doesn't it, eh? When you're doing that many bolts, it is noticeable. Nothing repairable. Right, so we're going to need what? V6, muffler, and a manifold, was it? V6 rear left and a manifold V6. Okay. Let's have a look here. Exhaust manifold V6 and exhaust rear muffler rear left for a V6 is that one. Very, very easy to cock that up, isn't it, eh? Exhaust manifold V6, just double check before we do anything. V6 rear left, V6 rear left. Get rid of that one. Exhaust manifold V6, V6. Cool. I think, hopefully, assembly mode. Hopefully, that's all we've got to do. Man, I mean, think about this for a second. He was driving so quickly that he broke his exhaust manifold and the left muffler. What? Really? How do you even do that? How do you even do that? It's a mystery to me. Alrighty then. Let's try and work our way down the engine here. The game will let me click down there. Or we'll just go down here and do it here. Okay, let the assembly begin. I am surprised that he didn't... You know, if he's driving too quickly, he might have gone over speed bumps and, you know, properly smacked this centre part. Broke some of the mufflers and the pipes. So I kind of expecting that to happen. Don't think you'd cause this kind of damage just by thrashing the car. But then sometimes this game doesn't entirely make sense. The story doesn't line up 100% with the effect on the car. Is that all of it? It is. Has that fixed the problem? It has not. It has not fixed the problem. Noises coming from the exhaust. Well, we've sorted the exhaust out. There's no doubt about that. That is 100% green. So what else could he have done? Noises coming from the exhaust. I'm going to check these bushes while we're here as well. Make sure all the suspension's working properly. Where's the bush? Here. Well, they're both fine. Interestingly. What else could he have broken by driving too quickly apart from like a wheel? You know what I mean? That's just kind of odd now. Jobs get less and less straightforward. His wheel condition is fine. I was kind of thinking it might be a broken wheel because driving too quickly would do that. But it's not that either. This has got me slightly stumped. Find and eliminate the cause. I was late for flight, so I drove too fast. I assume this is the reason for noticeable noises coming from the exhaust, which means noises coming from the rear, although once exhaust is fixed... Well, rather, until the exhaust is fixed, you wouldn't hear the other noises anyway, because it'd just be blowing like mad, wouldn't it? You might not hear any other kind of squeaks and things going on. It's not the wheels. I'm thinking suspension test. Let's put it on a path, give it a quick test, try and find out the last problem. What could it be? I could see him busting his suspension. I could definitely see that happening. It freaks me out the way that when you're doing this you can hear footsteps outside your car. You hear that? If they're not your footsteps, then whose footsteps are they? It's apprentice that you don't have. Oh god, I so hate the interior of this car. This wood and green, oh, it's the worst. What did that do for us? It did nothing at all. It did nothing. Wow. What am I missing? I drove too fast. I think this game's trying to throw me... It's trying to sell me a dummy, I reckon. You know what? I think there's going to be no problem back here. I genuinely do. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be... that's 93%. He's broken something... Oh, come here. Stupid game! I think it's going to be something... Look at this. You have to screw above it. In his engine compartment. I think it's going to be an OBD test. If he's been thrashing the car, then I don't think his problem now is a noise coming from the rear. I think he's done something to the engine. He's damaged something in the engine itself. But funnily enough, the pass test doesn't show it. So what could it be? I'm seeing a sea of green going on. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to check that oil level. I mean, that's fine, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with the oil. Nothing wrong with his oil filter. Or his oil level. Time to check all the good stuff going on here. 23% belts, right, he's bust a belt, hasn't he? But while I'm here, I'm going to check everything else. 10% on the belt tensioner. So he has caned the engine. That's exactly what he's done. He's just caned the engine and broken various parts on it. Wow, did this thing try to mislead or what? All he focused on, all the customer focused on was the flipping noise. Right, tensioner and both belts for a V6 is what we're looking at. Sneaky mission. Really sneaky mission. Belt tensioner. Serpentine belt for a V6. Timing belt for a V6. No, we don't want to send the engine cover. We do not want to do that. It's always these bits around here, isn't it? They're so often the ones that are the problem. I'm kind of disappointed that you can't do the major jobs, like get in there and replace head gaskets and, you know, rebore the engine. Some dude comes in and he's like, oh, I want to rebore my engine, man. I want more power, I want more performance. And you find yourself having to do these really complicated drilling operations. There you go. That did that one. 4 grand. Let me just double check my inventory status. And the engine cover needs putting back on. I knew there was something. Checks and balances, guys. Checks and balances. Order 66 complete.